always from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to The Long Road Home. And I'm Don Jackson, around the world on the internet. For those who travel for business, you need to be able to pick up and go whenever the need arises. Susan Barron in the New York Times wrote, "Travel is like any extreme experience. Dislodged from the familiar, deprived of our customary supports, we are never more ourselves. In the course of a journey, the curious traveler is likely to become adventurous, the nervous, agitated. As the commonplace recedes, we are forced to rely on the one thing that never seems to change: our character. On the road home this hour with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Michael Buble, Home, and Al Stewart with a song on the radio, or as in this case, on a podcast. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. I have heard from listeners who take this podcast on the road with them or download it while away on business or vacation. A listener and her husband emailed me from Grenada over the holidays to say they listened to my special Christmas Eve podcast on the beach. Another listened on a jet crossing the Atlantic. Another still likes to listen to the show in the hotel room after a day's business in a foreign city. If you're on business and listening in a hotel room right now, I hope you're enjoying the music and the company. If you're a regular business traveler, every hotel begins to resemble the last one you were in. The airports can be somewhat confusing, being similar in style and design. On the cab ride to the hotel or your meeting, you look out the window and see people who resemble those you left behind, doing much the same thing no matter the city, waiting for buses, crossing at street corners, making their way to work, or trying to hurry home at the end of their day. I've always liked this thought. It's from Ted Williams in Stone of Farewell and published by Daw Books. He wrote, and I quote, "Never make your home in a place. Make a home for yourself inside your own head. You'll find what you need to furnish it. Memory, friends you can trust, love of learning, and other such things. That way, it will go with you wherever your journey." Ted Williams from Stone of Farewell, published by Daw Books. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. David Gray in Babylon and Lonestar, and I'm Already There. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. There are certain landmarks, no matter the city, that help to ground us. Kurt Vonnegut, the author, quoted in the November 1999 issue of the Reader's Digest, wrote, and I quote, "No matter where I am, and even if I have no clear idea where I am, and no matter how much trouble I may be in, I can achieve a blank and shining serenity if only I can reach the very edge of a natural body of water. The very edge of anything, from a rivulet to an ocean, says to me, now you know where you are. Now you know which way to go. you will soon be home now. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. The Guess Who with These Eyes and Chantal Kreviazuk leaving on a jet plane. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Blanche Shoemaker Wagstaff wrote, "All paths lead to you, where'er I stray. You are the evening star at the end of day. All paths lead to you, hilltop or low. You are the white birch in the sun's glow. All paths lead to you, where'er I roam. You are the lark song calling me home." Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Our journeys begin at different points in our lives. William J. Bennett from The Moral Compass, published by Simon & Schuster, wrote, and I quote, "Much of life is a moral and spiritual journey, and it makes no sense to send young people on this journey, having offered them only some timid, vacillating opinions about proper conduct. We must give children better equipment than that. We must offer them unequivocal, reliable standards of right and wrong, noble and base, just and unjust. We must treat life as a moral endeavor." William J. Bennett in The Moral Compass, published by Simon & Schuster. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Taylor Swift with the song 15, and John Mayer Waiting on the World to Change. And I'm Don Jackson. Maybe your stay is longer than you planned due to unforeseen circumstances. If your business is brief, I hope you've enjoyed the visit. If you're at home and ready to head off on the road yourself, or patiently waiting for the return of a loved one, I hope this program has been able to help you pass the time. No matter where your travels take you, this is some very good advice to take with you. Gary L. Bauer from Our Journey Home, published by Word, wrote, "Many of us leave home convinced we are going to conquer the world. We are anxious to shuck off the restraints of traditions, cut our own swath, make our own rules. We know we can do it better, make it faster, see it all. Somewhere along the way, we learn we didn't know quite as much as we thought. Our ideas weren't as new as we took them to be. Suddenly, the quaint homespun wisdom we once rejected takes on new life. The first trip home after such an awakening is a return to reality." Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.